what if that you all will not be able to eat for the next one? No, I regret.
Hello, Brian Michelle here. Thank you for joining us today on our special day. We're really happy to have you here as we cross our major milestone of our life.
But I think majority of you do not know how did we started or how did we get together, right?
Yeah, do you still remember how it first met?
Maybe 8 or 9 years?
Years ago was when we first met each other at our Changi Youth Ambassador Service Orientation course. Back then, my first impression of Brian was just before the end of the course when he asked me to take care of his things because he needed to go to the toilet. I was like, this guy is indeed a burden.
Before we left that day, I decided to ask for her email address to add her on MSN, as well as a mobile number in case I needed to ask someone about the CCA. From there, we continued chatting more often via SMS.
Except, Brian's messages were always, I am late, whenever he has to report to the airport for duty. In my mind, I was wondering, why is this person so boring, with nothing to talk about except for being late?
After chatting for a few months, I decided to ask her out for lunch to catch up. I was glad she accepted my invite. From then on, we started to meet up more and more often.
Towards the end of poly, he told me that he wanted to do a temp job before entering NS. At that time, I was interning at USS and knew that there were vacancies in my attraction, so I recommended him to my manager.
That was when we started working together for about 8 months. During this period, I heard rumors that several other guys in USS were also chasing after her. It started to make me feel uneasy, and that was when I realized I've started to see her more than just a friend. I knew that I wanted to take our relationship to the next level and decided to let her know my feelings. On 2011 Valentine's Day night, I mustered my courage to confess to her and ask her to be my girlfriend. My heart was thumping so quickly.
I was shocked and afraid to commit.
At this point, I felt lost, sad, and dejected. I still didn't get any reply from her. I felt really anxious and decided to think of a more unique way to chase her. I began to search for unique ways to pop the question, but nothing really caught my attention. Then, I saw the goodies on the dining table and suddenly had an idea.
After a buffet date together, he decided to send me back to my bus stop. I was too full from dinner to eat anything already, but I just don't understand why this weirdo just had to insist that I open and eat them. And on this last fortune cookie that he gave me, he popped the question again.
I was overjoyed, and at the same time my heart was beating really fast. I finally managed to win her over.
And that was when our relationship journey started.
After graduating from Singapore Poly, I was happy to have received offers from SMU, NUS, and NTU. but I eventually chose SMU as I wanted to study in the same university as her.
As I began my SMU life, he entered the army. I felt really worried and scared after hearing so many breakup stories during this phase of couples' lives. And indeed, these 2 years were probably the most difficult period for us. We were apart most of the time and only had limited time with each other on selected weekends. I probably have teared quite a fair bit too.
NS days felt really long for me, and every day I can't wait for weekends to see her. When I finally started my uni life, we couldn't wait to go for an overseas study program together. And here we are in Korea for a 1-month summer study school program.
This was definitely the highlight of our SMU life. It was through all these trips that we found our common love for traveling. Since then, we've traveled to many different countries. And the most memorable one was in Bali, where we experienced an earthquake together. This was the time where I felt that I truly wanted to be with him till death do us part.
8 years into our relationship, and through the several ups and downs we had, especially the times where she stood by me when I least deserved and most needed her, I knew that she was the one. On 19 March 2019, I decided to make a surprise one-day trip back from my business trip in Hong Kong, so that on 20th March 2019, I could propose to the love of my life for exactly 8 years. I was so nervous on my flight back and on the proposal day, but I can't be more grateful for our common friend Samantha, who played a part in making this proposal a success.
I was shocked and speechless when I saw the whole setup with the love of my life right in front of me.
Will you marry me?
At that instant, my pounding headache seemed to have subsided a little. This was definitely the sweetest thing that he has done for me. I was very heartened by his sincerity and effort that I said, yes. And now, we are very happy to have you with us today as we embark on our next milestone in our life as husband and wife.